2 at 11, Macon-Bibb County's landfill seems to be more full of problems than trash. The county dump has left the city with multiple bills, including settlement payments to 2 former employees. 41 NBC's Joy Dukes has more.
January, problems piled on top of problems are words to describe years of ongoing issues with Macon-Bibb County's landfill. After 2 employees were fired for failed inspections, they'll walk away with a year's worth of pay, and the county will have to pay the fine. 2 former landfill workers will walk away with their hands clean after the county settled with them over claims of wrongful termination.
It was a termination that was appealed by the employees. They didn't feel like that their termination was justified.
Former Assistant Solid Waste Director Larry Dunning and Landfill Supervisor Lee Stringer were fired in June of 2015 after several failed Department of Natural Resource inspections.
We received some violations from the EPD, and as a reaction, as a knee-jerk reaction, Mr. Stringer and Mr. Dunning were both terminated from the county.
The 2 challenged their firing, and an administrative law judge ruled in their favor.
Basically found that yes, there were grounds for discipline, but he disagreed with the extent of the discipline, so thought that termination was too harsh.
But the county came back with an appeal of its own.
We appealed it to the Superior Court, but we kept open negotiations and were able to resolve the matter by settlement with both employees before the Superior Court judge made a ruling.
The settlement granted Dunning $63,856 and Stringer $34,334, all coming out of county general funds, which includes property tax and sales tax dollars.
We have agreed to accept their retirements and providing them with back pay for the time that they would have been working over that time.
And though it's finally over, Mayor Robert Rickard says there's a lesson to be taken from all this.
Appropriate documentation, of course, is one, giving employees the tools that they need so that they don't have, something to say, well, I would have done better if I'd only had this or if I'd only had that. So, we've learned from this, and I certainly hope and expect that we'll do better going forward.
Mayor Rickard adds they weren't necessarily happy about the settlement, but the commission felt it was an appropriate resolution, and they were glad they could get the issue resolved through a mutual agreement.
All right, thank you so much, Joy Dukes, tonight in the studio. Well, the commission voted and approved the settlement agreement to both former employees during their meeting at City Hall.